In this video, I'm going to go over masks and how you can use them effectively in Substance Painter. So right now you can see I have this fire axe, and you can see that this fire axe only has one material. Now, if I was to put this wood material on here and say get some metal, for instance, you can see because obviously these materials act like a fill layer, it fills the whole shader, the whole material, the whole model with this texture, which I don't want. I want the handle to be wood, and I want the top bit, the actual metal axe part, to be metal. Now, rather than going back into Blender and adding in say a new material to just say the axe part, I could just use a mask in order to tell Substance Painter to only paint in certain areas. Now, masks are really effective in order for you to control the visibility of layers on certain parts of your model. A mask is essentially a grayscale image, primarily black and white, which controls the visibility of layers, which determine where materials, colors, or effects appear on the 3D model. Now, masks are also used in other graphic software like Photoshop. So if you used Photoshop before, you might be familiar with masks. The principle is basically the same here in Substance Painter. So right now, let's play around with this fire axe as a reference point. So I have the layer selected, and I can either press the right mouse button, and you can see I have the mask options at the top, but I can also go here as well to add masks. So if I was to add a white mask, you'll see that nothing has really changed. If I change this to say the mask option, you can see it's fully white. But if I was to remove this and say add a black mask, you'll see now that the metal is totally gone, and I can just see the wood. Now, why is that? That's because in a mask, white means visible and black means invisible. So because the metal shader is black, it means we can't see it. So what I could do, for instance, is I could go here to add effect, add a paint layer, and if I was to just go back to paint for a second, and I got the grayscale to white, if I was to paint on here, you can see that the metal is starting to come through because I'm painting white onto the mask, which means it's making it visible. You can see here, where the black parts are, because that's invisible. If I paint the white here, it will make it visible. Now, this isn't the most ideal way to paint your masks. Obviously, it's very time consuming. You might accidentally kind of paint areas that you don't want. Now, there's other ways that you can actually make masking easier for you. One way is to create an ID map, but I have a separate video that talks about that, which you can watch at a later date. But here, I'm going to show you how to use the polygon fill. So let me just remove this. So we've still got our black mask on for the metal part here. So on the side here, we've got all these different icons. The fourth one down, if I hover over it, it will say polygon fill. Now, this is really useful for masking because you're going to be essentially painting a mask using the actual polygon faces, the UV shells, or the actual geometry itself. So this fire axe is made up of two different meshes, the wooden handle and the actual axe head itself. So I can press this option here, mesh fill, and if I click on this metal part, the axe head here, you'll see that it's created a mask on just that geometry there. That's because this is a separate piece of geometry compared to the handle. If I just pretend it's black, for instance, for a second, I could go to this option here, which is the polygon fill, and I can select this polygon face. Can be put that white first. You can see that I'm painting the masks based on the actual polygon faces. I can click and drag as well. I can go polygon face and just click and drag, and it'll select the polygons inside that selection square. Or I can use, say, the UV chunk. It's probably easier to see it in 2D actually if I do that for a sec. So you can see here, this is like one of the UV shells. Put that back to white. Click here. See that? It's now got a white mask on there. Same here as well. But let's just use the polygon one. So you can see now that the axe head is now metal, but you can still see that the normals and height maps for the wood is still bleeding onto the axe head. That's because this wood rough layer doesn't have a mask that is telling it to just to focus on the handle. So it thinks it still needs to cover everything on the model. So what I can do here as well is I can add another black mask, and you can see that that's gone. And then what I can do is I'm still on the polygon fill. I can press the mesh fill, click here, and now I've separated the wood and the metal parts on this model. So the wood is only showing on the handle because it has a black mask, with the white sections showing just the handle, and we have a mask here on the metal that only shows the axe portion.